Hi everyone, welcome to this Smart Charts European session. Hope you are all well. So we've been getting through these high impact news announcements this week. Pretty quiet on the board today on Wednesday actually, with no high impact news announcements coming out. Market's really focused now on ones coming out over the next few days, in particular the Bank of Japan policy rate on Friday. But we actually know this week the market has really been moving on Trump's executive orders that he's been signing through. So this is what it's going to be like, I would say, over the next sort of few weeks as new policies get signed in and the market is just going to be moving on those. We've had that at the beginning of the week as Trump signed in the potential for 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports, and that sent some huge moves in the Canadian dollar and Mexican peso. So again, risk management will be key. Volatility is likely to be heightened over the next few weeks, so something to be mindful of. Okay, I'll do my very best to highlight any potential trading opportunities around any of these themes that are developing, but make sure you're tuning into all the other live trading webinars happening throughout every day, interacting and participating in with all the different traders to help you identify different types of trading opportunities. Okay, but in this instance, when there's no high impact news announcements, then we simply just revert back to trading normal market flows. That's it, simple price action, normal market flows, just trying to identify where the themes are. Okay, will those themes continue? Where's the money flowing into and out of? What are people buying? What are people selling? So we know, of course, the most obvious trade has been the big rally in stock markets. Okay, not just because of what Trump is signing in, but also seasonally we know this is the most bullish time for stocks at the beginning of the year. So there's some good themes there for you stock indices traders there. We've had nice rallies there on pretty much all stock markets around the world apart from Asia. So we've had the European stock markets rally higher, US stock markets rally higher. So there's been some good technical setups there. And in the currency market, well, there's also been some really big themes there, mainly around the US dollar. How do we know this in the currency markets? Well, through the tools tab inside of Smart Charts. Let's have a look. Okay, so with the currency strength indicator, it just gives us a really good insight in terms of what is everyone buying right now, what is everyone selling right now, what's very strong, what's very weak. Okay, and we spend literally 5 or 10 seconds each morning just looking at that, giving us a broad understanding of what's going on. So we know obviously gold is really strong right now, and that we know because we have been trading gold. Okay, so we've had some gold trades here on the 180 phase changer strategy, which we highlighted with this up arrow here, which Smart Charts found for us, and then we look for a couple of things ourselves on top of what Smart Charts is finding. So we were bouncing off this moving average zone, the yellow line and blue line, and we also had this trend line here as well for that move there. So this will be interesting to see if we get some further upside. So we'll be looking for the next pullback, okay, to see if we can buy at a low price and then maybe sell it at a high price, as you would have done here, bought it at a low price and then resold it at that high price. So we'll keep an eye on those type of things developing. But when it comes to the tools tab, really what you want to be doing for the lower time frame traders, you want to be pairing the strong currencies against the weak currencies. Okay, buying the strong ones, selling the weak ones, looking to see if that trend will continue. For medium to high time frame traders, of course, you'll be looking to do that as well. Okay, but then also looking to see, is anything going to come to an end? You know, something that has been strong or weak for quite some time, well, at some point it's probably going to come to an end. There's going to be a bit of profit taken, okay, and we might get a reversal. So for example, with the US dollar, we know the US dollar for the past several months has been really up here. It's been one of the strongest currencies, okay, but we know since last week and a little bit before that, the US dollar has been the weakest currency, all right, which is why we've been shorting the US dollar. But in this instance, if you've gone through several months buying the US dollar, okay, as it was going up for several months, and now suddenly over the past few weeks you've been selling the US dollar, so we know we're just in these what we call pullbacks. Okay, so we'll be looking to see if the US dollar at some point that selling is going to stop, and we're going to go, and the market's going to go back to buying it. all right? So we're going to keep an eye on these things. And this is actually why, if you go back to the charts tab, go to the phase changer and go to pound US dollar, this currency pair is quite interesting, all right? So if we look at this, so what do we notice? This is pound, okay, against the US dollar. So as this exchange rate is falling in value, okay, this means the British pound is weakening while the US dollar is strengthening. Okay, so we know pretty much since last year, sort of around September, everyone started to buy the US dollar, so this currency pair was going down. So pound US dollar, euro US dollar, Oz US dollar, Kiwi US dollar, right? All those pairs were going down as everyone was buying the US dollar. And then of course the US presidential election here in November, that accelerated the move as well. Okay, obviously the market doesn't move in straight lines, you know, trends, okay, develop over time, and there's waves to those trends, cycles to those trends, as people build positions, take some profits off, build more positions, take some profits off, and that's what creates these cycles and waves that we see in the markets. So in this instance here, okay, this little move to the upside we've had over the past several weeks, so as this has gone up, the pound has strengthened, okay, and the US dollar has weakened during the past few weeks, which we've been seeing from the currency strength indicator, all right? So that's actually helped us to trade these, what we call phase 2 movements, all right, on the lower time frames. But again, we'll be looking to see if that is going to come to an end, and maybe at some point, are we going to go back in the direction of the trend, okay, where now if the direction of the trend continues to the downside, we're going to get pound weakening and the US dollar strengthening, all right? So in this instance, in the tools tab, this can give us a really good insight in what's going on in the market before we even looked at a chart, all right, to make those decisions. Then of course we can go to the chart, we can confirm that, and then start to try to identify potential trading opportunities, which is where smart charts massively helps you. So if we look at this strategy here, the 180 phase changer strategy, now in smart charts you have many different strategies to help identify and trade many different types of conditions, right? Different types of trends, ranges, consolidations, because within the market you get different types of conditions. Sometimes you get these long-term uptrends, sometimes you get these smaller trends, sometimes you get these ranges, sometimes you get these market sell-offs, okay? So you get all these different types of situations that develop, but each strategy is designed to help identify different situations the market could be in, all right? So the phase changer helps to identify any momentum trends developing in the market. And on top of what smart charts is finding, and remember, if you're not familiar with how smart charts is helping you, make sure you are utilizing all of the materials available to you, because you have a ton of resources available to you, really fantastic resources, okay? So make sure you're reviewing all your e-learning materials in the learn section of smart charts, okay? Going through all the courses, all the videos, you know, a vast amount of content in that learn tab. It makes sure you're attending all your live events here as well, okay? So you're attending all your online classes, online workshops, online boot camps, your live trading days, live trading webinars, psychology sessions. Make sure you're attending all your coaching sessions, working with your coach one-to-one to help analyze your journal data, to identify your strengths and weaknesses, to start tailoring and customizing your trading plans to your strengths and weaknesses, right? Helping to find performance in the markets. So make sure you're utilizing all those resources. But for those of you, we know the phase changer is one of the strategies we go through on your 3-day trader certification live learned Forex workshop, okay? And we know that actually all we need to do is look for a couple of things. That's it, okay? So every time we turn up to the markets, you may not remember what smart charts is doing. It doesn't matter, all right? We just follow a very simple checklist of just a couple of steps. So every time we turn up, we have a high level of focus, consistency, and objectivity on what we know we want to look for, all right? And it's that focus which becomes so important in a $7 trillion market where there's so many influences and opinions and news and all this stuff going on. you've got to get that focus, laser-like focus, to help find the consistency in your trading performance. All right. So what are the couple of things that we look for? Well, Smart Charts makes it super easy for us because we just need to look for a couple of things. That's it, every time we turn up. So the first thing that I like to look for is I want to be in the moving average zone. So this is basically being on the yellow line, on the blue line, anywhere in between that is what we call the moving average zone. So these yellow line and blue lines are moving averages. They give us a smooth line of price direction. I like to trade in the zone because it gives me a focus. I can say, okay, look, right now I'm in this zone. All right, but last time I turned up in the zone, look, sellers actually turned up here. Oh, last time I turned up in the zone, well, actually, yeah, look, sellers turned up here. Oh, yeah, last time I turned up in the zone, oh, sellers turned up here. Okay, now, yes, that was a winning trade, winning trade, winning trade. That's not always going to be the case, of course. All right, at some point the trend's going to end. But as traders, we look for the clues the market is presenting to us, okay, and we just try to replicate those clues and trade those clues consistently over time. Sometimes they continue, sometimes it won't. All right, but that's the game. All right, winning and losing. So in this instance, it just gives me a focus. I can say, well, look, sellers turned up here before, maybe they could turn up here again today. All right. Second thing I look for, final thing, is I also want to see something else. I want to see a visible area in the chart where sellers could turn up, because I can see they've turned up before. So this should just be simple resistance levels, support and resistance levels, and you get different types. So sometimes you get the horizontal ones. So for example, this low point here. So the market turned at this low point. So what was a support level, price is now broken through that, and now this can act as a resistance level. Okay, so we can get what we call this support and resistance switchover. And sometimes you get these angles of prices. So you can see here price has this angle of price where sellers turned up here, they turned up here, they turned up here, they turned up here. Okay, maybe they can turn up here again. So what do we end up having? We end up having a confluence of resistance areas all converging around the same place, all right, which is what we look for. All right, try to stack the probabilities in our favor. So on top of helping to highlight potential trading opportunities where sellers could turn up, Smart Charts will also help the most important work, which is risk management. Because by clicking the down icon, it will populate an entry price here at the blue dot, stop loss at the red dot, target the green dot, which can all be adjusted according to your own user preferences. And it will do the percentage risk, reward to risk, and currency conversion calculation. So click of a button, all that work is done for you. And then we'd like to set an expiry of a current bar close and decline or accept the trade. And basically what that means is if sellers don't turn up to continue this move lower, as they've been turning up here before in the moving average zone, on the trend line, on the horizontal line, so if they decide not to turn up again and get to the entry level, then this pending trade will expire, didn't win, didn't lose, didn't cost anything. But if they do decide to turn up, that will trigger into a live open trade. Then it will either go to the target level, the green dot, or it will go to the stop loss level, the red dot. So either it turns into a winning trade or a losing trade, okay? The key there though is to keep the risk low, make sure you're able to deal with the random distributions of wins and losses that develop throughout the day, throughout the week, and throughout the month, all right, so there's plenty of other opportunities developing in the market, so make sure you're tuning into all the other live trading webinars happening throughout the day to help you identify and participate in those different trading opportunities. But for now, that's it from me. I'm going to wish you all the best for your trading, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye for now.